Hi guys, welcome to the Archetypes reading. So in this reading I have 4 piles, whereas I usually have 3. I don't know, I was just drawn to having 4 this time around. And it's going to be a little bit different than usual because this one is only oracle cards. There is actually no traditional tarot cards in this reading. And then we are going to be pulling on camera a couple of, well, one card for each using the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. So one for each pile. And then a couple of these, You Are Magic, for each pile. And then the cards that are in front of you are the Archetype cards by the Wild Unknown deck made by Krans. I think I'm saying that right. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to take a breath, meditate for a moment, clear your mind, and get a clear message on which pile you should be picking. And of course, you can pick more than one. I covered the words at the bottom of them because I don't want that to influence your decision, because these are archetypes, and what that means is that, they're solely based on how the pictures, the images make you feel, or which ones you're drawn to currently. And this is a timeless reading, so you can save the video, you can come back in another time, and you may be drawn to a different one. And that's kind of how archetypes work. They are kind of like subliminal messages for your psyche or your soul. So on the first one, so we're going from left to right, we have an eye. Okay. On the second one, we have, a red kind of sky or background, a moon, and a hand stretching upward. On the third one, we have a rainbow. We have a skull of some type. It looks like a diamond or something on the forehead. And what this is, I don't know if you can see all of it, is a snake around the skull. And then on the last one, we have kind of a pyramid or a triangle and praying hands, also pointing upwards, and then it looks like some leaves or something. I don't know if you guys are able to do the numbers in your head. So 9, 1, 10, 3. Okay? So if that means anything to you, you can also choose by the colors. And this eye is green. This looks like it's sand. Alright, so if you've made your selections, then jump down below and go to your pile. Hi, pile 1. So if you chose the eye, your card is the Unseen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card from, and this is the back of the cards, I'm going to pull the card off of the bottom. We'll see what that one is. Apocalypsis. And we are going to pull a card from the top, the Flame. And then I'm just going to shuffle them and see which one we get, and that will be all of these that we pick. I'm going to start, oh, there it is. Ooh, the Animal. So you've got kind of a theme there. Look at that, you've got 3 eyes. How weird is that? How odd. Oh my gosh, and then I turn this one over and it's another eye. So I kind of feel like I need to take this one out and put it to the side. Oh, there it is. Got the Garnet. Number 8. The Garnet. Alright, pile 1. So let's dive in here. Okay, so first of all, you have 4 eyes. That could mean that you wear glasses. It's okay, so do I. And then we have, so 2 of those eyes are blue. One is green and one is gray-green. Okay, so that's really interesting. And then the second thing that I noticed is that, okay, so you've got a flame here. Ow, why did my finger just start burning? Ouch, what the heck? I just started getting like a weird burn on my finger. Okay, anyway, so you've got a flame there, and then it looks like you have flames here as well. Okay. This looks like it could potentially be the same. I don't even know necessarily that that's an animal on the first one, but it kind of looks like it. And then this is a very similar kind of image to that, which is kind of strange. I don't know. This is kind of making me feel weird. I don't know what it is. Apocalypsis, the animal, the unseen, the flame, the tear. So obviously there's something happening in your life that is probably making you feel rather emotional, and maybe you don't know why because you can't see it, or maybe you're going through like some health or emotional or mental issues or disturbances in some way, and you don't know why or where they're coming from. That's just kind of what's catching my attention. Okay, so let's look at apocalypses. I really like the sides of these because it's got like the shadow side and the positive side, so all kinds of things will be revealed during a time of apocalypsis. From big global lies to little white ones that lace the bedroom sheets. Brace yourself for the truth. And then we've got, this card has a strong relationship to Althea. If both cards appear in a reading, you've got some real uncovering to do. Take heed. So you don't have that card. Apocalypsis indicates a particularly painful time, one that unfolds when 2 disparate dynamics occur simultaneously, pulling the psyche in seemingly opposite directions. The first is a lifting of the veil. This means truths that have been kept in the dark are revealed, seen and unearthed. No matter how relieving it is to witness them come into the light, an element of despair and grief follows. The second dynamic is the regeneration that comes from the wreckage of the revealed truth. The old narrative breaks and the new story forms. Apocalypsis energy is similar to a forest fire. Okay, so the flame. Devastation for the sake of regeneration. The veil lifts and we see who and what has been hiding, so ourselves. From the nakedness of the truth, a child is born. Have faith in that process. Hold on to your center. That is the only way. It also recommends that you read Michael Mead's Why the World Doesn't End and watch the movie This Is the End. Okay? So basically this card is just saying that you are probably going through something right now that feels kind of like a world ending. You feel like everything that you've ever known, everything that you are is becoming apparent that that is not the case. That you're someone different than you originally thought that you were. That you are becoming someone else than you thought that you would. You're seeing the world in a different way. Your state of perception is totally changing. Okay, and so I'm just going to jump over here. So obviously that's the unseen, and that's kind of the narrative of this story currently, especially with this reading. Okay, so we can sum that up by saying that right there is what you can't see. You don't know why you're feeling emotional. Well, everything is being torn down from the inside out. And what you're being asked is to light a flame. And we can look at the ego area, which is the solar plexus in our chakra system. And this is the area of the body where your stomach resides, where your intestines reside, where your pancreas, your liver, your intestines, did I say that already? Your colon, all of your internal organs that are part of your digestive tract. If you're having any stomach issues, because I remember saying previously that if you're having any health problems, that's probably why. Because when we're changing and transforming, or we're holding on to things that no longer serve us, or we're kind of shocked by the state of our own being or being revealed to ourselves, what happens is our ego takes a blow. So we're like, what? This really hurts. I didn't expect the world to be this way. I didn't know that I was like this. I didn't, and that is what's happening is your ego is trying to shed itself. It's trying to flee. and you're trying to hold on to it. So your ego is trying to leave, but at the same time, you want to hold on to that because it's what we're used to. And electricity takes the path of least resistance, right? So whatever we're comfortable with, we want to stay there because it's easier. Transforming is not easy. So those are kind of the two sides that it's speaking on. You've got this one side that wants to transform, that wants to unveil all these things so that the unseen can be seen. But on the other hand, we're scared of that, right? So we automatically, by ego, want to be like, no, I don't think so. I want to hold on to what I thought that I was, because now I just feel weird about it, and it's scary to be something other than what I knew that I was. I knew that I was going in this direction, and turns out I'm totally not, and that's terrifying. Fire the spark, the glimmer. Okay, so this card represents health, mental clarity, good digestion. When it's dark or shadowy, it can mean excessive heat and anger, complete darkness, bad digestion, obviously. It also says to enliven the connection with this archetypal energy, practice the candle gazing technique called Trataka. Notice how lighting a single candle in any space brings magic to the room and creates a sense of reverence. Okay, so this is likely the archetype of a poet, a mystic, or a shaman, and you're being asked to light your flame. So like I said, your flame should exist in your ego area. So if it is dark, then there is no flame in the ego area, and you're masking that ego. You're keeping it covered. You're not shining a light on it, and you want to, because you want to know who you are. Self-awareness will bring you to enlightenment. And without self-awareness, we can never reach enlightenment. And so your desires will hold you to the earth. Your desires, your struggles, how you identify with bad things that have happened, how you take power, and good things that have happened that have been maybe bad for others. Let's go over to the tear. The tear is about melody, melancholy, flowing through, or drowning drama and murkiness. So murkiness can be seen as something that is thick, something that is dark, something that can't be moved through because it's stagnant and it's just gross. It can also mean the mourning, the release, and the rain. So maybe if you haven't been emotional, I think maybe this is asking you to find your emotion. To get out of your ego for a minute, dig deeper, and allow this to flow through you. If you're feeling blocked, it's possibly because you're not allowing your emotional self any access. You're totally blocking this off because, again, it's uncomfortable. But guess what happens when we cry? We release. We purify. Fire and water. Fire and water, guys. So once we burn it all down, then we wash it clean. And when we do those things, life sprouts up again and it begins anew. So tears are about letting go. I really would like to know what's up with all of these eyes. It's kind of freaky. It's kind of freaky. You've got all these eyes on you. Somebody's watching me. That's what just came to my head. Alright, so the animal. You've got the beast, the wild one, the she-wolf. Ooh, I like that. Vital, elemental, alive, dances. But when it's dark, it can mean savagery, pent-up emotions. There we go. And lashing out. So we're mammals. The hair on our chest and between our legs reminds us so. We try hard to deny our unrefined animalistic nature, yet through this archetype we tap into power and direction. Activating the animal within reawakens our relationship to nature in the most broad and embodied sense, drinking from waterfalls, roaring at the moon, opening eyes underwater, eating berries from the vine. The life force of our planet begs us to set down the devices, the constraints, and the social constructs, and remember the warm blood that pulses through our veins. The animal longs for breath, food, procreation, and physicality. It wants soil under our nails and starlight on our skin. If this all sounds terribly unsophisticated to you, take note that it is said that the Buddha became enlightened. When Buddha became enlightened, there you go, he roared like a great lion. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like wolf or like zebra. I'm getting like zebra energy for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe it's just all the black and white. Alright, now let's move on to our last card, the Unseen. So with this one we've got the Spirit, the Ancestor, the Eternal, clairvoyant guidance, whispers of wisdom, or when dark it can be dark looming energy and unwillingness to forgive. Ooh, okay. Being graced by the unseen is a gift. Treat it kindly. Allow yourself to be seen by eternal eyes. Guidance comes in many forms. Don't expect it to be glittery or comfortable. The spirit world speaks the truth. Sometimes it soothes and sometimes it burns. Whew. Are we burning, guys? Are we burning? Are we not wanting to see what we're hiding? The unseen is just as it sounds. It's watching and waiting. With wisdom both kind and instructive, we feel the presence, sense it, intuit it, then doubt its existence. Through it rallies our attention. Time and time again, the energy of the unseen may come in many forms: a compelling dream, sudden insight, a clear voice, a vision, or a message from a loved one. Communications. Your guides may be near. The eternal is present. The doorway between the worlds is ajar. Listen. The sounds may seem as though they come from a distant land, but they call from the innermost chambers. The Three Fates and the Shining. Somebody's watching me. It keeps coming in my head. Our garnet says, the garnet is a rejuvenating stone believed to protect against evil and terrifying dreams and to attract love. Self-understanding. You are a passionate soul with a courageous heart. Be confident and constant. Let go of your inner demons, taboos, inhibitions, and fantasies. Recognize self-sabotage and expand your awareness into all that you can be. Virtue matters to you. You are capable of great devotion to cause or relationship and have a strong survival instinct, you animal. That's so funny. Take action now. A mystery is solved. Ooh. So are you like on the search for something? Are you looking? That's what I keep feeling like. There's something that you're looking for, something that you can't see, obviously, and you're trying to shine a light on it. And this is going to cause like a total transformation, though, guys. And it may make you highly emotional for a while, but it is a step closer to enlightenment. Let's see. There is a way out. Turn a crisis into a learning challenge. If danger approaches, stay calm. You are protected. Be emotionally honest with yourself and others. You may attract a partner for sexual healing. Make no long-term commitment, as it may fizzle out once the purpose is fulfilled. That was the divination part. Here's the healing insight. Finding an appropriate outlet for your passion and emotions creates well-being. This is a medium frequency. Its chakra is around the base, the sacral, the heart, but it energizes all chakras. The timing is Leo, Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius, so the end of the year, slightly beginning. And its soul path is expressing your soul's passion. Let's see what these say. These are really cute. You are magic. Mm-hmm. Okay, those don't do that very well. Let's try that again. It's really hard to do that. Okay. We'll just do it like this then. There's one. I feel like this one on the bottom, it's like I just dropped it, is the one that was wanting to come out. So we've got two. We're going to do one more, and then I will read them to you. Oh, there we go. Okay. I don't know exactly where ideas come from, but when I'm working well, ideas just appear. I've heard other people say similar things. So it's one of the ways I know there's help and guidance out there. I don't know exactly where ideas come from, but when I'm working well, ideas just appear. I've heard other people say similar things, so it's one of those ways I know there's help and guidance out there. So that's by Jim Henson, and I think it's saying believe in more than yourself, because it seems like things come from somewhere other than ourselves. And the truth is, we're basically the universe pretending to be humans for a brief moment in time. RuPaul. Wow, RuPaul, I didn't know you were knowing of the I am. You little enlightened beauty. And then we have miracles happen all the time. We're here, aren't we? Wow, those all basically say the same thing if you really think about it. I don't know where ideas come from. I know there's help and guidance out there. And the truth is, we're all basically the universe pretending to be human for a moment in time. Miracles happen all the time. We're here, aren't we? Ooh. That's by Marilyn Nelson. That is so true. Apocalypsis. The unseen. We're here, aren't we? Someone out there helping us. We're the universe. Playing a game. Alright guys, so I know that was a really short reading, but that's all I've got for you today. I hope that you guys take care of yourselves and protect yourselves and allow yourselves to meditate, find time to meditate, do things like that. Allow your deeper self to make an appearance. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of, I promise. Spirit doesn't bite. Bye guys. Hi pile 2. So if you chose this card, you got the desert, and this is your reading. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card from the bottom. Okay. The Shapeshifter. And then I am going to pull the card from the top. The Bridge. And then I'm going to shuffle them and see what comes out. Okay. So just like with the last one, we had 2 come out. The Village and the Fault Line. Okay. Okay, so in all of these, there is a line that divides. Okay, so we've got a line here that divides, 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 and if you look closely enough, there's one here too. And here, kind of there. So the other pile, they got 4 eyes, and if you look closely, you kind of did too. You got one there, one there, one there, one there. And you have a jewel like they did too. So if you didn't watch the first one, you might want to think about it because it's kind of similar already. The first thing that I'm going to say about this one is that it looks to me like you're reaching for help. Like you might be stuck in some situation and you are afraid of asking for help. I thought that was going to be Garnet, but it's not. That was the one that the last pile got. Okay, so your crystal is Chrysocolla. It's a very pretty one. Let's look at the book here. And let's look at your theme. The desert, the drought, the wasteland, the badlands, surreal, strange, unexpected visions, silence, drying, deepening, deadening, disorienting, isolating. The desert is alive and pulsing with energy despite its desolate appearance. Turn toward it rather than away from it. When in the throes of the desert, contemplate the following. You are not alone. You have more supplies with you than you think. Water is very near. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it. If you embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach your water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright, and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, the coyotes' call surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. So we've got the little pyramid on the page there. So reaching up toward the moon. I think that's kind of, to me, it looks like a symbol of reaching up toward both what's hidden and also more illusions. So the more you reach for truth and all that is hidden, the more you will gain that, yes, but the more you will also gain more illusion. And then we've got the shapeshifter. So the shapeshifter, again, we might get a true form, or we may realize that the true form of something is nothing, and that every form that we see is also the truth, if that makes sense. So we may think that we have discovered ourselves, or we may think that we have finally realized all the things that we want, all the things that we are, only to realize that that actually doesn't exist in the way that we think that it does, and that we can be anything that we desire. We can put on any mask and wear it, and we can adapt, if we choose, to any situation, any person, any place. So that's kind of the shapeshifter there. Now, it could also mean that there's someone in your life that is pretending. That's not being real with you. Sorry guys, so I had to move because I was having some bees chase after me, so yeah, I had to move out back. So the first thing that I am noticing is that there's two parts of you right now. And you are trying to find a way to integrate perhaps two sides of one being. What I mean by that is you're discovering that there is another side to you, or multiple sides. And the shapeshifter is, is someone who's multifaceted, someone who could be masking who they are, or somebody who is able to be many different people, or can adapt anywhere, or it can be, there's definitely a negative connotation with it, because you could say that someone who's always hiding, or someone who's kind of the snake in the grass, or someone who's always masking what they really are. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be bad always. It can be someone who's just really good at fitting into any situation, any place, any group of people, and through that they change. Okay, but obviously there's an issue here, because we've got a fault line. A fault line is going to be a line that's going to divide two pieces of land. Okay, so obviously you're not land, but it could be taken literally, but I really doubt it. Also, this is giving me shamanism. I'm seeing a shaman, and you are trying to figure out who you are, and you're in the desert, and you're reaching up toward truth, which is the moon, or reaching up toward psychic revelation. But be careful, because with that you can become more illusory too. Everything around you can feel more illusory. I'm not saying be careful, don't go that direction, because you should always. Anytime there's an opportunity to get deeper into consciousness, step on it. But I think, just be careful where you step exactly. So in the book, the bridge says, bridges are built to connect two worlds. They create flow, allowing us to travel between realms, ideologies, and personalities. This archetype is a gesture of acceptance, of saying yes rather than withdrawing, separating, and saying no. So here you are in the desert, but you are almost, you can see it in the distance, the other side. So keep going. And then you need to integrate back with people, back with your life, back with, things that feel a little uncomfortable. When we cross a bridge to an unknown land, we are led magically into a new reality. We open up to otherness. Healing and communication are made possible. We enter a state of curiosity, wonder, and learning. The shaman, for example, the shaman, for example, creates the bridge between the everyday world and the sacred. This card asks us to study the connections between seemingly disconnected parts of our life. Remember that a bridge can't be forced. It must be made with love, or its structure will not withstand the inevitable weather of life. It'll be like a fault line, like building a house on a fault line. The desert. You are in the wastelands, and it is dry. It is dry. The fault line. Let's take a look at the fault line. The fissure, the crack, the weak line. Redefining reality, breaking open. Precariousness, pretending, delusion. Imagine walking across a frozen lake that begins to crack before your eyes. No matter how optimistic and brave you might be, panic ensues. You become fearful and tense, long for stable ground. Such is the energy of the fault line. It's the energy of walking on eggshells, of precarious dynamics, of sensing what is ready to break open into chaos. It's likely this cracking open is overdue, as fault lines develop slowly and naturally from underlying elemental pressures. This card comes as a potent warning not to deny the shakiness that's afoot. It's much better to prepare yourself for change than to walk along the fault line pretending all is well. There is no easy fix for the situation at hand. It will require a foundational shift that alters the current dynamics from the ground up. I love that. It says on the side, in Japanese kintsugi pottery, gold is used to mend cracks. Breaks are thought of as precious rather than something to be hidden. And then your last card in the archetypes is the village. The village is, we're something that's familiar. We're familiar with the village because we always say it takes a village to raise a child. And it's true. If you don't have children, it is so true. I don't even need to read that. I think that this one, though, is something that is more about finding your village. You're probably quite lonely right now, as far as I can tell in this reading. And if that's the case, then no worries. Just know that you are going to find your tribe. You will soon, without looking for it, find exactly the people that you need to connect with for the thing that you should be, not should be, but should help you find your way. Okay, and so your stone, the chrysocolla, is all about self-love. It is tranquil and sustaining. Chrysocolla encourages you to remain serene and strong during change or challenge. Dissolving destructive emotional programming, it increases energy assimilation. You have infinite capacity for forgiveness. Love yourself. If you cannot accept yourself, you cannot give love or accept the love of others. To heal your emotional black hole, connect to the universal love that is inside of you. It never runs out. You can then give love out to the world and receive it in a never-ending flow. Forgive yourself. Accept with equanimity what you cannot change. Let go of hurt and rectify situations that can be healed. Be magnanimous. Remain impartial and speak your own truth, but recognize when to keep silent. Magic rituals may keep you chained to the past. There may be past life trauma to heal around being a woman. Wow. Bitterness and self-doubt have no place in well-being. It is good to nourish your body with self-love and gentleness. This is an earthy frequency. This stone can cleanse all chakras and activate all chakras. It's specifically targeted at the timing of Taurus, Gemini, and Virgo. And its soul path is about loving and valuing yourself. So that makes sense. Also, what just hit me is the village. Like I said, it takes a village to raise a child, and perhaps you were one of those people who didn't have that growing up. Maybe you just had a mom or just a dad, or were raised by your grandparents kind of thing. And if that's the case and you've always been kind of lonely in life, just, what I said still rings true. I think that you will find a tribe. And if that's not you, and you are one of those people who have a big family or have a big community of people, but feel overwhelmed by it or feel burdened by it, or, there's a lot of toxicity in it, same for you as well. You'll find your tribe. Just, you gotta get yourself out there. Don't go looking, but at the same time, be open. Okay. But yeah, so I am feeling very much that you are some type of healer, and I would say it's mostly shamanistic. I mean, this card gives me shaman energy all the way, baby. I don't know if you have dreams where you can change into other things, but if you have the ability to do that, then absolutely you are already on your way to being a shaman. If you don't, it's within everyone, the ability. It's possible for anyone. I think that if you don't have any of that, or you feel like, this is not resonating, then I would say be more open and know that it is possible. And this might be a message to say, give it a try. Okay, and then last we have 3 of these guys. Here we go. Oh, you get 4 cards. Whatever you can do, or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. And that was by William Hutchinson Murray. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered? When wished on the morning star. Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. Kermit the Frog. All my life, I've jumped off the cliff and built my wings. It worked every single time. It never fails. Ray Bradbury. That to me sounds like a dream, because you can fly in dreams. Last but not least, own your magic, walk in your purpose, and rock your truth. Beverly Bond. Wishes and dreams. You've got dream and magic. Believe, wish on morning star. That sounds like a dream to me. You got magic again, and purpose. And maybe you rock too. Maybe you're into music. But yeah, shaman, pile 2. Hope that was good for you, and if not, then hopefully I'll see you next time. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this archetype, then this is your reading. So the first thing that I'm going to do is pick the card from the bottom, the card from the top, and then we're going to shuffle the rest. So first we have the Mentor, the Mask. So what I did was I split this whole entire deck into 4, and then the ones that parted. Okay, wow. You had 3 more come out. So we've got the vow, the vision, and the seed. Ooh, okay. You have a lot of birds. Okay. This doesn't come up in any other reading. There's 2 things that stand out to me right away. Actually, a few things. So the first one is the birds. We've got birds here, 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 here. That did not happen in any other reading. We also have a snake, and if you don't know, in symbolism, snakes are a symbol of the feminine energy, or divine feminine. And so are birds. Birds kind of go with reptiles, birds and reptiles. If you've ever seen a chicken up close, then you'll see that it's like scaly, like a reptile, its legs, and under its feathers. And then another thing is that there is a lot of rainbow in your reading, which could mean a couple of different things. It could mean that somebody on the other side is actually trying to reach out to you. And then another thing that I notice is there's a lot of circles, or a lot of hints at birth. And this could be that you're pregnant, or that's the person that you love is pregnant, or that you're adopting, or that it could just mean, though, that you're bringing something into life, like birthing an idea or a new beginning, or it could be a symbol of a loss because of the rainbow. Some people who have lost babies, they call it their rainbow baby. Like if they've had a miscarriage or a stillbirth or anything like that, and they would refer to that as their rainbow baby. So that could be another thing coming out for you. If you're trying to get pregnant, and maybe you're struggling with infertility, this could be a message for you as well. Because I'm seeing the vow, the vision, like the vision of, those look like 2 different people's hands, like a hand on one hand and then somebody else's hand on the other hand, on the other side. But yeah, so this is what makes me think that somebody from the other side is trying to reach out to you. With the hands, like they're guiding you, they're pushing you. I also see 2 diamonds or other clear jewels, which could mean clarity, could mean you have a very sharp sense of perception. You could be a mentor for someone, or you could be just now coming into your spirituality, I guess. And we're going to see what it says about some of these archetypes. So that's my intuitive take on it. Let's go to the warrior. I'm going to find that on page 81. Okay. The samurai, the soldier, the advocate. Fierce clarity. There we go. Purposeful action. Resolve, resilience. Or it could mean threats, savagery, abandoning mission and values. Without a true purpose, manifesto, or oath. Oath, vow. The warrior is lost. What do you stand for? What are you willing to rise in the name of? Write it out. Be careful, as the warrior implies war. The 2 go hand in hand. Oh, whoa. Hand in hand. We've got a lot of that. Those who defeat others are strong. Those who defeat themselves are mighty. We often envision the warrior as an armored figure with sword in hand, moving blindly toward battle. Yet the deeper aspects of this archetype brings us face to face with death itself. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death, trusting the eternal to guide the sword's blade. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. If and when the warrior loses its center, meaningless confrontation and violence are their default response. When this card appears, it is important to question the battle at hand. It is likely a great one, with deep roots and long-standing tensions. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles, so choose wisely, brave one. As you draw your sword, realign with the eternal wisdom within, then surrender to the battle. So you might be going through some stuff right now where you're, kind of facing yourself, kind of battling yourself, or you could literally just be projecting on other people and fighting with others. And then we have the mentor. Now, this could be you or it could be someone else, but this is someone who is a teacher, a sage, or a guru. They're focused, clear, bright, remains a student. Okay, so the teacher is also a student. The student is also a teacher. Or it could be someone who is self-serving, envious of youth, righteous and rigid. Keep in mind how easy it is to project power onto another. The expressions feet of clay and cult of personality exist for a reason. Although it's typically true that parents are our initial teachers, the child will eventually seek a mentor figure outside of the home to assist their growth. It is said that cosmic knowledge pours down on the world like a great illuminated waterfall. This can be an overwhelming force. True teacher, though, is able to hold this flow of wisdom to bay while the student sips from a focused stream. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredients that will stimulate growth within the student. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the revelation of consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes themselves for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. Okay, so this could be saying that you are a mentor, or it could be saying, like I said, that you need a mentor. I think that if you are in a state of your shadow, then you probably do need a mentor. If you're a student yourself, or you really look up to someone, I would say that it would be a good time to go seek them for guidance. We have the mask, the persona, the performance, the reveal. Reveals what has been suppressed, further conceals what is rejected. Contemplating the possibility of your identity, the mask, which you previously rejected, gives voice. When this card appears, enact the side of you that is seeking expression, yet has never given a role to the play on the stage of life. You are the realm of theater, so anything is possible. Speak with the other's voice. There may be mischief and deception around, and others may be trying on new masks. 2. No one is sure who is who. It's likely you've become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception, but in time, trust it. Think of a mask or costume you wore that felt empowering, marvelous, or fun. Who was it you were being? Is that who is still within you? So maybe you're transforming. Maybe these losses and things that you've experienced have actually set you into a place where you're starting to change. And the seed is the beginning, the origin, the pearl, generative, fertile, germinating, building, or festering, stewing, and lying dormant. So this says that it is a potent energy. It's feeling antsy. You are at a growth edge. The vision, the dream, the imagined, the revealed. Okay, so there's like a lot of revelations happening right now, and you're getting clear insight suddenly. This could be potent imagination, synchronicity, and trust, or it could be disconnected from your art and dreams, listless and aimless. It is said that we are each born with a unique vision, a destiny toward which we are aimed. It is also said that we forget that the vision the moment we are born. Thus we are sent a lifelong journey of rediscovery. It sips away, yet it guides. It appears in strange dreams and surreal images. When we are connected to the vision, we carry an inspired, enchanted aliveness that others recognize. We trust the world and synchronicities. We walk through new doors into wondrous opportunity. We all want to be near this vision. They emit energy more potent than an elixir. When we lose connection to this vision, life becomes dull and exhausting, lacking meaning. Bring back the mystery. Bring back the dreams. It also mentions that you should look back at your art. And that You can gauge how connected you are to your vision by how tired you are. Since the vision feeds us energy, it affects our life force and vitality. And then last but not least, we have the vow. Okay, so I'm starting to see the connection between all these cards here. Let's read this last one. The vow. 173. We have the promise, the oath, the contract, bearing witness to the shift toward destiny, unconscious vows, unkept promises, messy karma. Anytime the energy of the vow is present, we are in the archetypal realm of ceremony and ritual. That means time stands still and anything is possible. There you go, you've got possibility again. Think of the last promise you made. Was it yourself or another? Has it been upheld or broken? When the vow is spoken, the air shifts, karmic ties are formed, and destiny tilts on its axis. Our words and intentions have immense power. Mythic stories, drops of blood as a mark of union. The tricky part is that reciting the vow activates the eternal and unseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness and the laws of nature respond. These promises cannot be said or forgotten, so breaking them can leave lingering complexities and loose ends. This card calls us to acknowledge the vow we are living by and either recommit to it or create a ritual that signifies its closure. You've been underestimating the power of your promises. Okay, so what I'm getting from this reading basically is that you are in this life, and what I believe is that hi, hello, it's my cat. You basically signed up for something before you came here to be this human being, and you were probably doing it for a really long time, and now suddenly you're unsure of yourself, and you went through these struggles, and now you're kind of jaded, and now you're unsure of where you're going, what you want to do, and all that good stuff, and it's just not a comfortable place to be. Now we're going to pull one of these crystal cards. That's my son in the background. Carnelian. Creativity. Oh, Carnelian protects against glamour spells, envy, and the evil eye. Bringing good fortune to its wearer, it prevents blood from rushing to the head to cause precipitate action. You have the ability to remain calm during disputes. Warrior. And self-control not to follow the crowd. Courage in the face of danger comes from inner strength, not foolhardiness. Your family means a lot to you. Your sexual drive is strong. Lust or aggression has been a problem in the past. Direct it toward creativity and raising Kundalini. Then it says at the bottom, be eloquent, creative, and bold. Do not back down. Trust your intuitive perceptions. Distinction in your career lies ahead. Be a mentor. Oh my God. Be a mentor. Okay. Be a mentor. Alleviate stress. Take time to play. You are a tower of strength during sorrow. Stay anchored in the present. Let go of emotional ties or outdated projects holding you back. Beware of a charismatic person. Sufficient vitamins and minerals support your metabolism for optimum well-being. This is earthy tide, depending on the clarity. The chakra is the base, which is what I thought, and the sacral, so the bottom two. This is the timing, so not necessarily your zodiac sign, but the time of Taurus, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and Scorpio. And this is about expressing your soul's vitality. Oh, okay. Now we are going to look at 3 of these You Are Magic cards. 1, 2. Okay, there we go. Dumbo didn't need the feather. The feather. Oh my god. What is up? Is your spirit animal is either like a hawk or an owl, and I would say it's most likely an owl because you're a mentor and you've got owls everywhere. It's really weird. Like, that's not happened in any other readings. Dumbo didn't need the feather. The magic was already in him. The morning air. So maybe you are like a Gemini, an Aquarius, or a Libra. Oh, and by the way, that first one was by Stephen King. This one is, the morning air was like a new dress that made her feel the apron tied around her waist. She untied it and flung it on a low bush beside the road and walked on, picking flowers and making it a bouquet. From now on until death, she was going to have a flower dust and springtime sprinkled over everything. I'm not sure I really understand that completely. It's by Zora Neale Hurston, and Their Eyes Were Watching God. And then the last one is, I love that the more I open myself up to the world, the more the universe opens itself up to me. Harnum Carr. There you go. So I would say that you would probably most likely be a modern day sage, where, you know, you're definitely meant to be a leader of some type, that's for sure. So, yeah. Good luck to pile 3. Hope you enjoyed your reading, and I'll see you next time. Hi, pile 4. If you chose this card, then this is your reading. So your card is called the Temple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the card from the bottom, the card from the top, and then we're going to shuffle. So... it's really hard to shuffle away. Okay. The Sword, Althea, and the Castle. Oh wow, okay. Those are very themed. We got a lot of green too. Green and purple. Lots of green, lots of purple. Alright, so let's look at the Temple card. Okay, so the temple means the sanctuary, the shrine, or the altar. It is about reverence for all, life as sanctuary, or idolatry, cults, and strict spirituality. It says, when we think of the temple, we often envision an archetypal structure in a far-off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet the temple is a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensually kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshiping? Your phone, money, material goods? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is room on an altar for something new, something surprising. Offer it to the heavens. The ancient yogis saw the body itself as the temple, every function and feature of it as an expression of divinity. Build a shrine with found materials. Don't spend any money, only time. Though indeed the temple travels with you, this card is interwoven with the pilgrim archetype. If you've been longing for a spiritual journey, book your ticket. Alright. Hey guys, so it started to rain yesterday, so I went in and got distracted, and so I'm going to finish your reading today. So where I ended the video that you saw just a moment ago, I'm picking up right there where I left off. So yeah, we're just gonna jump back into it. So your main archetype, as you already know, is the temple. And then the card on the bottom was the sword. The card on the top was the castle. And the card, was Althea. And then the card that we shuffled was the castle. So as you can already see, we've got a theme here. Which we're going to go over every single card individually. We already read the temple. And now we're going to look through at the sword and Althea. And we're going to see what those say for you guys as far as archetypes go. So let's look at the sword. So for the sword it says, the knife, the blade, the weapon, cutting through to what is essential, or hasty backstabbing, or a dull, painful blade. To use a sword is to decide. The blade separates one's reality from another, the choice is made, and all else falls away. If you find the sword is in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. This weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. An onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is one that is honest, swift, and accurate. Our first encounter with the sword is at birth, when the cord we share with our mother is cut. This moment defines our separation from her and begins our journey of becoming ourselves. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Decisions shape our lives, and the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. So right there we can already see that we've got some decisions to make. Perhaps, you know, with the temple and the castle being here, it's like maybe you're like conflicted between two directions in life. Maybe, you know, you have your better living situation, your higher pay, all of those good things. And then over here we have the kind of internal world. It's probably, hey, don't do that. It's probably lonelier this way, and it's going to require a lot of reflection, and sometimes it's painful. So that's what I'm seeing so far. Or perhaps you're torn between illusion and reality. Or perhaps you are trying to decipher between what is real and what is not. Either way, I see that you're in a rock and a hard place, for sure. So I want to look at the castle first. And then we're going to move on to Althea, because that's a big one. So the castle is the palace, the penthouse, or the fortress. Visiting your throne of power, or stuckness, depression, spells, and walls. It's no wonder fairy tales tell of sleeping princesses within castle walls. Like most archetypes, the castle is loaded with duality. It represents abundant riches, seductive fantasy, ornate wonders, and lavish adornments. Yet the walls are thick, cold, and shadowy. This card points to a tendency to hold on to possessions or a position that projects the image of achievement, while the soul longs to run barefoot in the forest, leaving it all behind. At times we must settle down, yet the castle lulls us with its spells of materialism, and we fall asleep to our deepest dreams. The castle can be a motivating force, an enchanting goal to travel toward, but it is best not to linger within its walls of decadent deception for too long. So just as I thought, you know, it's kind of the complete opposite of the temple. It's kind of like a battle between the internal and the external that I'm seeing. And it really clarifies that when I'm looking at this cut here in this card and this cut being made by the sword. Triangles are also, you know, intuitive and drawing power down from the ether, from the gods, or however you want to look at that. Whereas, you know, we have a square here and we have a square here, and these kind of go hand in hand, and they both have roses as well, so that tells me that maybe you are feeling boxed in. If you are going this direction, if you are in this situation, you're feeling a little bit caged in, and you don't really know how to free yourself from that. But at the same time, it's scary to go anywhere else because we don't really know what's going to come from that. It's definitely the harder choice to make, if that is something that you're contemplating. This card is a good reflection of duality, and also the green that I see in both of these kind of gives me the message that you should be leading with your heart, because green is the heart chakra, or the heart itself. So don't think too logically on whatever decision it is that you're trying to make, because you're being asked to lead by nothing more than your heart. And that may come with some pain as well, because you've got these roses here. You have 3 roses, and that could be something that you're battling too. It could be a choice. It could be a choice in your love life, because there are 3 roses presented. It could be between making a choice of someone who has, you know, their life together, or someone who seemingly doesn't but is a good person, or something of that nature. Now let's look at Althea. So, wrong one. Okay, Althea. This is about truth. Clarity, revelation, disclosure, or distortion, gaslighting, and excuses. Our soul recognizes the truth. When someone speaks it, a cool wave of relief washes over the room, and all the facts and figures in the world fall by the wayside. Such is the power of Althea. It has an undeniable resonance that goes beyond the rational, just as I said, the heart. We can also recognize Althea by its contagiousness. When we hear someone speak the truth, we see the truth within ourselves, and are more likely to tell our own story. The Althea card requires us to step toward an act of truth. This might look like a conversation, a gesture, a poetic act, or a ritual that honors the unveiling of what's been concealed. Reclaiming your own truth is a way to reclaim your vital energy, health, and sense of belonging in the world. Truth has its own wings. Set it free. It is said that the resonance of our voice changes when we speak a falsity. In this light, practice seeing truth as a vibration. Or, Picasso said, "We all know that art is not truth. Art is a lie that makes us realize truth. At least the truth that is given us to understand." Okay. Now, let's pull a crystal for you. These are so pretty. Ooh, my fingernails. Ah. Ooh, I'm feeling one already. Where are you? Where are you at? Give us an idea. A better idea of pile 4's archetype, if you will, please. Oops, that one wanted to fall. One more again. Oh. Come on out. I know you want to. Maybe not. Okay, there we go. We have Trigonic Quartz. Okay, so that's number 23, which if you simplify that, that is the number 5. 5 represents change. So with the Trigonic Quartz, this is the soul's code. Trigonics hold the secrets of the universe and rapidly expand your awareness of multi-dimensions. Trigonics are cosmic coding for the soul. You are an eternal spirit on a human journey. As a result, you may feel that Earth is not your true home, but remember that you are here for a purpose. Expand your awareness, restructuring your physical and subtle bodies, beliefs, and realities. Birth your soul fully on Earth if you feel alienated. Meditation triggers your soul's full potential and purpose. In reintegrating fragments of your soul, you bring about wholeness. Okay, so taking these two sides of you and integrating them into your daily life and becoming whole again. Recognize the multidimensional breadth of your own soul. Remain honest. There it is again. Truth, honesty, to achieve success. Reach beyond apparent reality and karma. Let go of conflict. Number 5 is also about conflict. Renegotiate soul contracts. Heal soul traumas and the etheric blueprint. Expel toxins from the physical and subtle bodies to download higher frequency spiritual energies and integrate the light body. Your soul provides everything you need for well-being. This frequency is extremely high. It is actually on a chakra that is higher than the crown chakra, which we don't really, deal a whole lot with. But it does exist. It's just not one of the main 7. Its timing is in Aquarius and Pisces, so that's going to be January, February, March. And its soul path is the evolution to the highest dimensions. Ooh! I'm really feeling like you need to get out of this castle and into the temple. And when you go into the temple, you may find an even better castle. Alright. Now, and also quartz themselves are about truth. They're about clarity. Alright, and then last, we are going to pull a few of these You Are Magic cards. Got 1, 2, 3. Okay. Anyone can fly. All you need is somewhere to go that you can't get to any other way. The next thing you know, you're flying among the stars. That means you have to go somewhere unfamiliar to learn who you are. The universe buries strange jewels deep within us all, and then stands back to see if we can find them. Meditation. If we stand for change, we can spark a popular movement with power, influence, magic, and genius. So don't sit by the wayside, and just do what everyone else is doing. You don't need to hold on to material things because you feel like you should have it because everyone else does. Why can't you have a different life? Why can't you, do this thing that other people aren't doing? Why can't you do the thing that you feel like you should do? It's hard. Yes, I get it. The temple is a harder route. No doubt. I know. I really do. Because I am struggling with the same thing when it comes down to it. And it's the hard choice, so perhaps this reading is a message to me as well. Always, that's how tarot works. Anytime I'm reading, I know that there's a part of it that is a projection, and it is also a message for myself. So if you're watching this, know that you're not alone. It's me too. There are other people struggling with the same things that you are. You're not alone. Taking the harder route is part of the process, part of the test, part of the experience, part of the journey, and its rewards are much greater because the jewels that you get, the castle that you find, is going to be so much better than the one that you are already aware of. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. and I'll see you next time.
He's so cute. Oh, baby. He's so handsome, cat. He's all black and pretty. Yeah. Look at how handsome. Dylan. Here you go.